My name is Susan Winkelstein, and I'm a funeral director with Chicago Jewish Funerals. In just a moment, the cemetery personnel will be bringing over Mrs. Ina Ruth Hoffman's casket to the graveside, and then the services will be conducted by Rabbi Janet Saltzman Solom.
My daughter.
Yes.
It was such a long time ago we chose that jail.
I know.
So many years
The
ago.
simplest one.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Well, I hope you'll join me in that wish also.
You bet, Mom. But we were really planning on the ice flow.
Oh, thank heavens.
Are you paying for all this to go up to in vertically for that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. This is where they dropped it.
I know.
remember that.
Jan, remember?
I remember.
Daddy's funeral, Jen?
We weren't this close.
So my friends, it is a tradition to rise, and since it's not raining or anything, I want to encourage us to go outside. What will happen is we'll lower the casket in a few minutes. Esenai el harim me'ayin yavo Ezri mehim Adonai Oseh Shamayim va'aretz. I lift my eyes unto the mountains, from where my help comes. My help comes from God, creator of the heavens and the earth. So welcome, my friends, those of you who are embodied at the gravesite and those of you who are disembodied in the world of Zoom. This is I'm Rabbi Jan Salzman, and also the niece of Ini. And so there is an added depth to my engagement with this, and I'm honored to help guide and midwife and shepherd this along. We are going to now witness that the funeral folks are going to hand out the buttons if they haven't already been handed out. Is that correct? You have the buttons on? And so I want to say that when we wear the buttons with the ribbon on them, we are, of course, reminding everyone that our hearts are broken, that someone has been ripped from our lives. And it serves as a reminder that you are in this period of mourning. It is the tradition to wear it at least for a week. Some people wear it for the entire month. It's also allow other people, should you come in contact with other human beings, to let them know that you are in a particularly delicate space. And so now if you want to take the corners of the ribbon and rip them, Ruchya Atchina Eloteinu Ruach HaOlam Dayan HaEmet. Blessed are you, God, who judges the truthfulness of our existence. And the word emet means truth, and it also has three letters, made of three letters, the aleph, the mem, and the tav, which is the first, the middle, and the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, as if to say that this moment is encompassing all of Ina Ruth's life. So we're going to begin with, I'm going to say some words here, and then I will invite those of you who would like to add some memories, some short memories. Since we're at a graveside, we'll just make them short memories, or appreciations, blessings. I'll reintroduce it in just a moment. But I wanted to just share with you some of my recollections of Aunt Diney, as well as words that I got from my mom, Charlene, her holy sister. So who was Ina Ruth Hoffman? She was brilliant and shy. She was the first Jew hired at General Electric as a secretary. She was fragile in her early part of her life physically, but she lived to 94. So how fragile was she? She was one of the best cooks and bakers that any of us knew. And my personal memory is one of learning how to create a pumpkin cheesecake. For me, that spells Aunt Iny. When she was young, she was so smart that she skipped a year of grammar school, which made her a year younger than everybody else in her class. And so there were times when she felt very much younger than her cohort, but she persevered with her just great energy and great being. She had a great group of girlfriends. But what was most important to Iny? Her family. Her house was always open, especially on things like Thanksgiving, when we would all gather there and eat our full, especially of pumpkin cheesecake. But many of us didn't know what she did outside of the family. We always got together as family, but it turns out she had a life outside of the family. And where that focused on was her work with Hadassah. She was very active in the local chapter. And in fact, there were times when she was the president of the local chapter of Hadassah. And she participated in a family memory memento that I still have, and Grandma Shar actually has a copy of this at her house. It was a cookbook made for the Organization for Rehabilitation Through Training, or otherwise known as ORT. And so we get from this, of course, that Iny wasn't only concerned about her family, but she was concerned about the welfare of other people, and was very active in making sure that other people had the chance to improve and advance and get educated and get some vocational training. What we all remember about Iny especially is how much she loved to read. She read all the time. And even into her later years, a book was always on her lap or in her face. I learned yesterday that during the war, she would take a bus to the Chanute Air Force Base and dance with the soldiers. So what a special person. I would like to invite anyone else at this moment. I think at the graveside, there's a microphone. Is there anything, a gift that you want to mention that you received from Iny?
I just want to add that she was Woman of the Year at U of I one year for selling the most war bonds.
Oh. Here you go.
She's in the yearbook.
Thank you, Valerie.
Yeah, and our mother made a lot of sacrifices in her life, which we are very grateful for, and she always had the most beautiful smile. And she didn't take credit for the sacrifices, so I'll miss her smile.
I just remember even later on in life, she was always so incredibly politically active. She was so aware of everything that was going on and had very strong opinions. And it was a really important, it was wonderful to have those conversations with her. You know?
No, I
Okay, Don?
Great. So there'll be, yeah, go ahead, Don, yeah.
I just wanted to add that Aunt Iny was most welcoming, even to oddballs like myself. and I'm ever grateful for that.
I'm remembering the kitchen when she lived in Valparaiso. It became one of my favorite kitchens on the planet. Old school, yellow walls. I loved that house, actually. I thought that was such a beautiful house. So my friends, we're going to witness the lowering of the casket into the grave. And I'll say a few more words and then we'll proceed to the burial. And so I'm assuming that the cemetery folks are heading over to lower the casket. And as this happens, let me share with you a part of a poem by Marge Piercy. Connections are made slowly. Sometimes they grow underground. And this, of course, speaks to Andini's love of gardening as well. You cannot always tell by looking at what is happening. More than half a tree is spread out in the soil under your feet. Penetrate quietly as the earthworm that blows no trumpet. Fight persistently as the creeper that brings down the tree. Spread like the squash plant that overruns the garden. Gnaw in the dark and use the sun to make sugar. Weave real connections. Create real nodes. Build real houses. Live a life you can endure. Make love that is loving. Keep tangling and interweaving and taking more in, a thicket and bramble wilderness to the outside, but to us interconnected with rabbit runs and burrows and lairs. Live as if you liked yourself, and it may happen. Reach out, keep reaching out, keep bringing in. This is how we are going to live for a long time. Not always, for every gardener knows that after the digging, after the planting, after the long season of tending and growth, the harvest comes. While they're putting the cover on the casket, I will sing. Ya da da ya da 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 ya da da ya da da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ya da 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 ya la. Ya da da. Ya da ya ya da da ya lam ba da dum ba da da ya da da ya I la lam ba da da ya I the lam ba da da ya I Ay, 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 ay. Ya, ya, da, da, ya, ya, ya. Ay, 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 ay. Ya, da, ya, ya, da, ya. Ay, da, da, ya, da, da. La, ya, ya, la, 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 ya, da, ya. I, ay, 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 ay. Ay, la, la, ay, la, la, ay, la, 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 ay, ay. Ay, la, ay, la, ay, la, ay, la, la, ay, ay. Ay, la, 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 ay, la, 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 ay. Ay, la, la, ay, la, 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 dum, bye, die. Bye, ba, da, dum, bum, bye, die. Da, da, da. And so we reconvene near the grave. A short reading. It was a wonderful life. I loved and I was loved. I sang. I heard music. I saw flowers. I saw sunrises and sunsets. Even in the places where I was alone. You, dear God, in my heart, helped me turn loneliness into precious solitude. And I look back over the panorama of my life. What a wonderful privilege this was. And so, Anita and company, if you want to move closer to the grave, we're getting ready to chant the El Male. And following the El Male, you're invited to, the funeral director will tell you how to put some dirt in the grave, and then we'll conclude. And so first in English, may the source of life, the fountain of all being, open our hearts to compassion and our eyes to wisdom, that we might glimpse in perfect peace and sadness the way of all. May the memory of be for a blessing, and may we never let the light of her love grow dim in our hearts. May we remember her, Chaya Rachel bat Beryl v'Moishe, Ina Ruth Hoffman, daughter of Dubby, Dora, and Maury. May her memory be forever bound up in the bond of life. We are sourced together. And may Ina Ruth's death awaken us to this truth, that the bond of love we share and shared will not be severed in sorrow. I'll now chant the El Male, and following the El Male, which that was a kind of a translation of, we'll begin to fill the grave with some dirt. El Male Rachamim, שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי השכינה. במעלות ירשים וטורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים את נשמת חיה רחל, בת ברל ומוישה, שהלכה לעולמה, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתה. על הרחמים, אז תראה בסתר כנפיך לעולמים. וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה, אדוני הוא נחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה, ונאמר Amen. And now, as you are so moved, take some soil and help bury Ina Ruth. And following that, we will recite the Mourner's Kaddish. For those of you who are unable to see what's happening, Charlene and Anita and Val and Jill and Don are all taking turns sifting cups of dirt, I believe from Israel, onto the casket. This is a webinar format that the funeral home uses, so we can't really switch things around. But it's a holy moment, and the video is, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what to say about, we're having some chatting around it. So the video is sort of interrupted. I'm assuming that you all have finished with your putting dirt in the grave during, but I can't really see because the video is stopped. Oh, there you go. There you go. Thank you. Normally we would wait until the casket is, till the grave is filled, But in this time of COVID, nothing is as it should be, and everything is also as it should be. And so for those of you now who have the Mourner's Kaddish in hand, there are less than 10 people at the site, of course, but it is also, according to the Jerusalem Talmud, you only need 6 people for a Mourner's Kaddish. And so today we will follow the teachings of the Jerusalem Talmud. So if it is your custom, those of you who are viewing from home, to rise during Kaddish, please do so. And I will get us going here, and let us recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gedal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kori v'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam ul'almei almaya. Yit barach v'yish tabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal shemei dekudesha v'richu. Le'ela birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael Kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, Amen. And may the memory of Ina Ruth Hoffman be remembered as a blessing, and may each of our breaths that we take from here on out help us to remember that life is sweet, and that it also ends. And this concludes the service. And I believe there will be information coming out about Shiva from Jill or from Anita, I'm not sure whom. And if you have any questions. Anita, do you want to speak a little bit about Shiva?
Shiva will take place on a Zoom tonight. If you want the link, email me at 8 o'clock Central tonight and tomorrow. And then Shiva will be continued on throughout the rest of the week from Utah and California. But tonight in Chicago and tomorrow night in Chicago.
Okay, and then you'll say, so if you need information, contact Anita or Jill. I think that the tradition, of course, now is that the mourners would walk through 2 lines of people gathering, you know, like a Jewish Virginia reel as you headed back to your car, but we are not in that time. So it's over. The cemetery folks will take over from here in filling in the grave. Those of you who are graveside, you are more than welcome to check in with the cemetery guys and find out if they're going to do that now, or if you want to stay there and watch the grave be filled, by all means do so.
Thank you, Rabbi.
See you tonight.
Thank you.